Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Yashua in Jacksonville, Florida. But first I have to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the archons, and to the women and children. Kahal Halayim Ma, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha Rokah Kodash Mahamah, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Double honors to my elder apostle Hawan. Salutation to the archangel on the four corners of the earth, and to the women and children. Shalom. Okay, well, Spirit caught this video and guide me to do a lesson with it, because even though I believe he's a Muslim, but he speaks some truth about what is going on, or what has happened to our people and living in so-called America, right? And how I guess proud and arrogant the Edomites in power in America always have been. But anyway, I'm going to play it safe here. Arab scholar speaks of forbidden truth that blacks and Muslims will crumble Trump and America. Well, I don't know if he's talking about that we're going to, I saw a little bit of it. We are not the so-called Negros, Latino, and speckled birds who are called to do the work of Yahweh Shin Yahushua. We are not called to build an army on this wicked kingdom and attack the governments of America and fight. That's not our position nor our mission. Our mission and purpose to do the work of Yahweh Shin Yahushua, to read their judgment and let Yahweh Shai, when he come back with the host of angels, right? And collects the 144,000 chosen elect, right? Which is going to be all men receiving the new body and spiritual power, Superman powers. Salakia. Of course, I pray and hope that I'll be one of them. But in this body, I don't got no fat chance or even think about getting involved with something like that. But anyway, nevertheless, let me play a little bit of it, and then we're going to the lesson. The title of this lesson, O Thou Most Proud. Here we go.
Rich Muslim countries who are absolutely awash in, I would say, undeserved oil money to moralize about the superiority of their culture.
Undeserved oil wealth. Look, Muslims need to understand, when you're dealing with Western kuffar, you're not actually dealing with ignorance. This is a misunderstanding on our part. You're dealing with arrogance, not ignorance.
Hey, for the record, the Muslims, they don't worship Yahweh Shai. Okay, they got some other fake god that they worship. All right, just for the record. Here we go.
Ignorance can be remedied by information, can be remedied by education, and so forth. You can teach ignorant people, but you can't teach arrogant people. Arrogant people cannot learn. They can't learn anything until they've been humiliated. And in fact, arrogance is always just the precursor to humiliation. Undeserved wealth, he says. Undeserved wealth. Well, let's talk about undeserved wealth, by all means. Let's talk about Europe. You know, the Europe that Jordan Peterson thinks is the pinnacle of civilization and achievement. Well, Europe would still be wallowing in the mud and battling plagues, and they'd still be tearing each other to pieces in endless wars, internecine wars, continental wars, if they hadn't spent centuries pillaging the global south to make themselves rich. And no, wealth that is obtained through uncivilized means does not civilize you. You got richer, but you sure didn't get better. Your industrial revolution was built on the backs of stolen resources. You have to acknowledge that fact. It was built on stolen resources and enslaved labor. Cotton from India, sugar from the Caribbean, gold and diamonds from Africa, on and on. Entire continents were drained dry to fund Europe's prosperity. Not not to mention the misery that you inflicted on your own peasantry, on your own workers, creating one of the most ruthlessly classist societies in history. Even at that time, your fancy aristocrats were still defecating right where they stood, in their own palaces.
Ever wonder why Japanese
Oh,
people live so
Sriracha, you know how it is with
Our
YouTube.
bodies
I don't
accumulate
control that.
toxins over time, from sources beyond.
Even at that time, your fancy aristocrats were still defecating right where they stood, in their own palaces. I mean, you were so brutal to each other that your own people ran away from you and started America. That's how that started. They're trying to escape from you. But they were all just people from your same so-called civilization, so they were just as brutal as you. They weren't any better than you. They were escaping from you, but they weren't better than you. They just copied you and they took it even further. I mean, America, the land of the free, land of freedom and opportunity. Let's be real. There would be no America without the genocide of the indigenous people, without the theft of their land, and without the transatlantic slave trade. There would be nothing called America today without that those heinous crimes. Is that wealth deserved? Is it? I mean, while we're on the topic of oil wealth, let's talk about America's deserved oil wealth, state by state, massacre by massacre, and theft by theft. What do you see when you see a picture of the Texas oil fields pumping millions into the pockets of American oil companies? Well, I'll tell you what I see. I see indigenous genocide. That's what I see. Texas was home to the Comanche. It was home to the Apache. It was home to the Karankawa, the Native American tribes. Well, they were all displaced. They were all slaughtered, or they were infected with diseases by settlers. The U.S. Unilaterally annexed Texas after the Mexican-American War, which is just a war that was built on lies and greed, but that's a whole other topic. That's not wealth that's deserved. That's wealth that's soaked in blood. You can't
Okay, let me stop it there. I think you're catching the hint. How around the world are not happy with the Edomites. Not even the Edomites happy with the Edomites, right? It's been going on for so many years that it caught up to them. Now, of course, they don't care because they're putting all their hope, their faith, their trust, and their belief in their science in technology, right? That they're going to rise and take over the whole world and upgrade slavery, okay? I want to go to Jeremiah chapter 50, and I'll start with verse 15. Shout against her around about. She has given her hand, her foundations, are fallen. Her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahweh Shai. Take vengeance upon her, as she has done, do unto her. See? Since they go around the world robbing, plundering, and raping, and delighting people, now people around the world, governments around the world, now that they have the same weapons that America has, now they're telling them, you can't bully us anymore, right? So it's getting not only very interesting, but it's getting also closer to World War III. Verse 31, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, said Yahweh Shai, power of hosts of army. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. Yeah. Yahweh Shai just waiting for Yahweh the Father to give him, the go-ahead to come down to earth and start moving furniture. As my Bishop Karnak says. Verse 32, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all around about him. Boy, it's amazing how the scripture becomes to life, and it predicts exactly what is going on to this day. It's amazing, huh? Verse 33. Thou said, Yahweh Shai of hosts of army, The children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. To this day, can you believe it? It's still holding us, right? And then, what's his name? Trump did a commercial that if you don't like America, leave. Well, if you don't like the truth, leave, Donald Trump, right? But he can't, because Yahweh Shai is going to keep him right here when he comes back. Verse 34, the Redeemer is strong. Yahweh Shai of hosts is his name. He shall truly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquit the inhabitants of Babylon. Yeah, he's going to preach to Yahweh and say, hey, is it time? Is it time? I want to go down there, you know. I want a clean house, you see. Give me a minute. I want to go to Luke chapter 14, verse 11. For whosoever exhort himself shall be absent, and he that humble himself shall be exalted. Woo! Right? So things are moving fast, right? And now with this America and Venezuela, and now Russia and China getting in, yeah, things are escalating pretty fast. Proverbs 16, verse 5. And the dollar is getting weaker and weaker. So cashless society is around the corner. Verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart and mind is an abomination to Yahweh Shai. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. Yeah. Keep being proud, right? The Edomites cannot humble themselves. The Edomites do not get forgiveness. They don't even get mercy. Okay? They have committed too many crimes, all right, around the world. Verse 18, pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Verse 19, better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoils with the proud. Yeah. And they want to keep going around the world demanding that, you know, if you don't follow my belief system, if you don't obey my belief system, you know, you're a criminal, you're wicked, you're evil. Even though 2/3 of our people, okay, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and speckled birds are wicked and evil, they're going to get theirs, right? But this wicked world, this wicked kingdom, which is not our kingdom, it's our hell, okay, has to be removed with the hand of Yahweh Shai, okay? They cause too much damage to the earth, and if Yahweh does not send Yahweh Shai back, the Edomites will only ruin the earth even more. 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 3. Talk no more, so exceeding proudly, let not arrogant come out of your mouth. For Yahweh Shai is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Yeah. Everything's being recorded from the beginning of time all the way to now. So the Edomites think that because they have technology and AI, that AI is going to be able to, that AI for some reason or another is going to be able to outwit, outbeat, outsmart Yahweh Shai? Oh well, they lied to AI and they programmed it wrong. Proverbs chapter 8. Give me a minute. Verse 13. I just saw last night in YouTube AI called Dark GPT, Chat GPT, right? And supposedly you can ask any question, anything you want from it, and it will not lie to you. It will tell you, you know. So I didn't go. I just listened to the YouTube, but I don't get too much trust or confidence to AI. Okay, at 13. The fear of Yahushua is to hate evil, pride and arrogance, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. Yeah, and all that is what the Edomites, are and have and practice, right? Pride, arrogance, and evil, right? And a forward mouth, always deceiving, always conning, always lying. Isaiah 13. Give me a minute. I'll go to verse. I'll start with verse 2. Lift ye up a banner. That's what we put out there when we go into highways and byways. Okay. Upon the high mountains, right? That means high tower of governed position, so they can hear it and see it. Exhort the voice unto them. Shake the hands, that they may go into the gates of the noble. Yeah, they hear us loud and clear, right? They can keep pretending that they ignore us, but this has been going on since 1960, since what? Our Bibbins in New York, okay? Then it went to 11 West, and then from there it went to GMS, and it grew wildfire around the world, okay? Verse 5, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh Shai, and the weapon of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. Verse 6, howl ye, for the day of Yahushua is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Verse 7, therefore shall all hands be faint. Yeah, when they see that humongous chariot that they so-called UFOs, right? And every man's mind shall melt. Yeah, that's zapping and disintegrating people left and right before your eyes. Okay? Verse 8, and they shall be afraid, pain and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travails. They shall be amazed one at another. Their face shall be as flame. Yeah. A lot of people are going to be on fire. Okay? When they see that Yahweh Shai is only coming for the chosen elect and 1/3 of men, women, and children. Okay? He's not coming for the whole world as these 501c3 incorporated Christian churches tell that lie to our people. Verse 9, behold, the day of Yahweh Shai comes, cruel with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Right? It's a wake-up call, because it's getting closer. Verse 11, and I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. It said world, so that'll be around the world. All the wicked, you're not going to be able to hide. Proverbs chapter 27. Oops. Verse 17. Iron sharpens iron. So a man sharpens the countenance of his friends. Right? Yeah, you better be careful who you call friends, okay? Because they're not in the word, in the truth. You can only keep them only from a distance because they're not going to receive the truth, nor do they care for the truth, okay? So I go to Proverbs chapter 12, and I'll start with verse 15, and then I'll stop it with 17. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkens unto counsel is wise, right? And counsel of who? Of Scripture, in the name of Yahweh Shai, right? To the elders, to the apostles, right? To the servants that are doing the work of the Most High. I'll leave it with verse 17. He that speaks truth shows forth righteousness, but a false witness deceits. And boy, is that growing more and more now with technology, right? So we are getting closer for the cashless society. We are getting closer for the mandate of the MOTV. We are getting closer, right, for World War III, right, for missiles to be flying. Now when, we don't know. But all we know through Scripture, it is getting closer. I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say, Shalom.